Hello and welcome to Brockley News, Radio Brockley's weekly show, keeping you up to date with all you need to know about what's happening in and around the hospital. I'm Alan Joyce, and coming up tonight we look back at today's Buttercup Walk, which took place here in the grounds of the hospital earlier this morning. If you missed our live coverage this morning, you'll get the chance to hear some of the highlights from the morning, including interviews with some of the stall holders, special guests and hospital staff, and also with people doing the walk as well. That's coming up over the next half an hour. Then at 7:30, your chance to win some Radio Brockley goodies without leaving your bed on Bedside Bingo. David Rauch will be back after his live coverage earlier on this morning. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, it's all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show with Keith Reid. So stay tuned to London's official #1 hospital radio station, your #1 recuperation station, Radio Brockley. So today saw the 13th annual Buttercup Walk, which is a mile-long walk within the grounds of the hospital on which hundreds of people took part, including many ex-patients and many other people as well. But there were many more activities and stalls taking place as well. Radio Brockley was at the event with a goodie stall and a team of reporters who brought live updates from the event. Let's relive some of the highlights right now.
It's looking good up here. All the stall holders are virtually set up, ready to roll, and things are looking good. We're keeping our fingers and everything else we have crossed, because the weather forecast for midday looks very doubtful indeed. But we're hoping that all the good spirit and the joy and the love and stuff up here will blow that away, and the sun will come out as it did last year, and we have a cracking day at the RNOH Buttercup Walk.
Marge and I are just now watching this kind of rather beautiful red and black shirt spinning a crystal orb. It's very clever. It actually looks like he's got it suspended from the sky. It's very clever. It's trying to, and it's just now kind of juggling with this crystal orb. It's just a very clear kind of ball that's about, I'd say about 4 inches in diameter, I would say, and he's now produced 3 smaller orbs, and I think he's going to juggle. So what I'm going to do is just have a little break while we have a little watch of this, and then I'm going to catch him and have a chat with him in a moment. Would you like to just tell me your name first of all?
Yes, my name's Jason Maverick, and can I just say I hope you don't trip over the pom-poms which are there.
And what is it called that you're doing?
Okay, this is called contact juggling. So I've got crystal balls which I'm getting to roll around my hands, up and down my arms and across my body. And a lot of people have seen this skill in the movie The Labyrinth with David Bowie, where he was doing this skill and getting these crystal balls to move around. But it wasn't him, it was someone else. And it was actually the person who invented this.
And how did you learn this wonderful skill? I must say just now, Jason has 4 of these crystal balls in his hands. He's just put it, it's actually incredible. It's a shame we haven't got a video of this, because it's very interesting. But just how did you learn to do this, Jason?
I went to a juggling convention probably about 10 years ago. And I saw an Argentinian juggler doing it, and I thought, well, I've been juggling for a long time, so regular juggling for a long time, so I thought I'd be able to do it, and it took forever. It took an awful lot of practice, much more than I ever anticipated. Yeah.
Well, you look like you're very good at it, so thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Leanna and her sister both, and we've got all sorts to talk about, Leanna, haven't we?
Yeah.
Should we start with, how old are you first of all?
I'm 8.
And what's your connection with the RNOH?
I had 2 operations.
And you are going to be taking part in the Buttercup Walk today?
Yeah.
Are you going to be doing it with your sister both?
Yeah.
Who's also sitting with us? And you're doing it with your mum and your dad too?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And we saw you just before we went on air, and you were showing us pictures of yourself and Prince William yesterday. Can you explain that one?
Well, went to this polo event and Prince William was going to play there, and so I got to meet him.
It was for the Royal Marsden Hospital, wasn't it? You raised lots of money for charity.
Yeah.
And your dad was showing us your Just Giving page, and you've raised a huge amount of money for the RNOH charity. And how much is that?
5,000 and
£5,850. So you've raised a lot of money. I think you should come to Radio Brockley and raise some money for us.
I'm very pleased to say the rain has just sort of blown away, but it's looking a bit doubtful up here, but people are coming in and it's beginning to fill up, so fingers crossed. I'm pleased to say I now have Joanna Cole with me, who is an ex-patient of this hospital from, I think, the early 80s mainly was your longest stint.
Yes,
Can you
that's right,
tell
yes.
us a bit about that?
Yeah, Mr. Morley took me under his wing. He was a King's College Hospital consultant and said the facilities here at King's College aren't suitable, come over to Stanmore. And it was a bit out of the way. It was winter time. There was suggestion that he actually wouldn't be able to come through the snow because the conditions were so prohibitive. Also, considering from a patient's point of view, getting up here was a bit nightmarish. But I was looked after beautifully from the moment I arrived to the moment I left. It was a super, super stay.
Now, you've been very generous because Joanna's just won in the raffle a bottle of champagne, which is very, very kindly donated to Radio Brockley because, of course, as we know, it is Radio Brockley's 50th anniversary next year. We've been broadcasting here to you good patients and listeners at the RNOH for 50 years come the autumn of 2016. So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
That is very kind of you. And you've come quite a distance today, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Well, my reason for coming is that I was given a legacy through my mother a couple of years ago, and it took a while for it to actually materialise and be put into an account and everything. And as soon as that became viable, I gave some money to the chaplaincy team. They asked for something specific, which is a communion set that they were in dire need of. And there was surplus money, so that also came to Radio Brockley.
And thank
you were
you for
kind
that.
It's a pleasure. It was lovely to do it, and a lovely letter to receive. So I was thrilled to bits.
Now, you like me, a long-standing patient, or you've got long-standing involvement with this hospital. What do you think are the main changes you've seen? Putting you on the spot a bit here, but it's changed a lot in 35 years that I can remember. What do you think?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that I found was the MRI scans and the CT scans. At the time I was here, I was limited just to having X-rays, and I have to admit a great respect for the radiology team who read them so well, because it must have been very, very difficult. But now with MRI scans and things, you get that much more detail. So, as Mr. Morley said, the only way they would really know how all the nervous system was structured was actually by opening me up. They really didn't know what they were dealing with until then. So an MRI scan, of course, would have given them a much better and much bigger insight into how things were.
So a fantastic example of how technology has helped improve stay and its patient experience.
So I'm just standing watching the majorettes doing a really wonderful performance here, and I'm going to talk to a couple of them afterwards. I'm standing here with two of the parents of one of the little girls. What's your daughter's name?
Abigail.
And how long has Abigail been doing, is it majoretting?
Majorettes.
In the majorettes?
About 2 years nearly.
And have you been all over the place watching her?
Yeah, we get quite far out. Dartford, Norwich, Watford, Hemel.
Fantastic. They're very good. Is there usually more of them, or there's 4 today?
Yeah, unfortunately there was another girl supposed to be here today, and we've had a few move areas, so we've reduced numbers at the moment.
Well, they're doing very well. I'm going to talk to a couple of them afterwards. Thanks very much for speaking to me.
Okay, can we have a big round of applause, please, for the Watford Eclipse Majorettes. Well done, ladies. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
You've done a fantastic job. You did a fantastic job there, ladies. What are your names?
My name's Penny. My name's Jade.
How long have you been a majorette?
I've just joined about a year ago.
5.5 years.
Wow, you're doing really well. Just having done a year and 5.5 years, that's a long time. So how old were you when you started?
I was around
They look ready.
8.
Over to you guys. Thanks again.
Brilliant. So do you go to different carnivals and things like that with this?
We did Abbott's Carnival a few weeks ago.
Where's your next thing?
We've got competitions.
We've got competitions.
So yeah, we're like competing and
Well, I wish you all the best with that, and thank you for entertaining us. Thank you very much.
Okay, we are now at the cake stall where Sue has decided that she's going to treat herself to a cupcake.
And very delicious it looks.
It certainly does. You've got stars. What's that? Stars? What's that butterfly?
I think they're butterflies and glitter.
Yeah.
And yes, and I'm just going to have a little taste now and tell you if they are actually
if
delicious.
It tastes as nice as it looks.
Delicious. Very, very good.
Is it light? Nice and light?
Mm-hmm. Nearly as nice as the ones I make.
I'm pleased to say I'm with the guest of honour, whose name is Norman Sharp. Good morning, Norman.
Hello, hello to Stanmore. Very pleased to be back here, and it's nice of them to ask me, the Buttercup team, to come back for this special day.
Great, nice to see you. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your history here, because it's quite significant?
Well, I mean, I got to go back to a lot of years to give you my history. I mean, I first came to Stanmore in about March 1930 for getting my hips fused because I was in so much pain. And then after they were fused, of course, they had to teach me how to walk again, which took about 18 months. Before I was ready for discharge, but they'd done such a good job that sufficed for the rest of my life.
Fantastic.
I was never I never had a disability myself. It was only what other people saw.
Yeah.
But I went dancing. I did everything the boys did. If they fell in the river, I'd fall in the river, so to speak. And I had my motorbikes, and I just lived a normal life. I never thought of being.
Good for you.
Yeah,
so I believe you underwent one of the first hip replacements, if not the first.
I'm very confident it was the first because there was so much fuss, and Professor Zedden was involved, and it was his idea, because Mr. Newman. Professor Zedden told me that Mr. Newman had just come back from America to learn all about this new procedure, and he asked Mr. Newman if he would do them for me, and Mr. Newman said yes. He said, I think I can help this young man, and Professor Zedden said he's all yours, and
fantastic.
It went from there.
And what year was that?
That was 1948, November, December 1948.
Fantastic.
And when Mr. Newman came to see me the following week, he said, yes, I'll do them. The first one next week, and the second one 3 weeks later. He'd be on penicillin a week before and 2 weeks after.
Right.
And
that was it?
That was it.
And can I be very sensitive and ask you how old you are?
90.
Wow.
I had my 90th birthday last January.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we had a bit of a party.
Good for you, I would hope you would.
And a little tot or two just to keep things warmed up, you know.
Fantastic. So those hip replacements you had done in the 40s are still the same ones? You've not had replacements?
I'm going to tell you something now. The doctor here asked me if I'd have an x-ray yesterday, and I've had an x-ray and he wants to look at them, and that is the first doctor that's ever asked to look at my hips or anything about them, not even my general practitioner.
Wow.
I've never asked about them, I've never talked about them. Dr. Newman was the last one that spoke of my hips and done an examination at Great Portland Street in 1949.
Wow.
A few months after I'd been discharged, I had to go back and he wanted to do a checkup. And nobody has ever discussed anything about my hips, and I don't think many people even realised I've got them.
Built to last.
Built to last.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
now, I hear when you were a patient here, you were a bit of a DJ.
Oh, well, we tried, but of course it's a lot different now. It's a lot different now. I mean, my days, when the record had finished, the gramophone had to be wound up again before we could put the next record on.
Nothing much has changed there then?
No, nothing much has changed. But yeah, Pee Wee Hunt and 12th Street Rag, that was the first, that was the #1 request.
Right.
And it was also the Rich Margaraja of Magador.
Right.
But Sister didn't like that one because when that came on, you know, it went
scared the daylights out of everybody.
All the patients picked up knives, walking sticks, whatever they, and started bashing the lockers or whatever they, and it was such a row. that did get on Sister's nerves. But
Right.
she never complained.
Well, she was an angel then.
Yeah, she was.
Well, Norman, thank you very much for coming up to see us today, and good luck with enjoy your day.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to go and get some cover because the rain's increased dramatically while we've been chatting, but thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, and thank you, and good luck to all, and best wishes to all those that are still waiting to be discharged.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We're going to go over live to the start of the walk itself.
Here over 60 years ago as a child with an infection of his hip, and 85 years ago, I'm sorry Norman, yeah, of course it would be, yeah, and subsequently required a total hip replacement, and to my knowledge has the longest surviving hip replacement, 66 years in the world. So we're delighted to introduce Norman as our Buttercup Walk hero and special guest today. And it gives me great pleasure, and Norman is kindly going to set us on our way. So guys, can you set off?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
Hey, and away you go, off you go.
I'm not walking yet.
Fantastic. What a great way to start the walk. So the Buttercup Walk is underway. We're going to try and talk to people along the way as we go through the next hour or so.
I'm with Abby right now, who's doing the walk next to me. How are you feeling?
Yeah, really good, thank you, yeah.
And so, is this your first walk?
No, we've been coming for the last 3 years. This is our 3rd year running.
And how did you get involved with the walk?
I used to be a patient at Stanmore. I got diagnosed with fibrous dysplasia about 3 years ago, so I came here and had my leg bone grafted, plated in a dynamic hip screw. So.
And have you been clear now? How many years?
I got signed off in November.
Oh, well, very well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, all good.
And so, do you enjoy coming here?
Yeah, I do. We really, really love it. It's such a nice event, and it's like so worthy. It's such a wonderful hospital.
And do you have any other relatives with you? I see, I believe Dad's next to her.
I'm Terry, I'm her dad, and my wife Bernice, and my other daughter Gemma, and her daughter is here, Talia. So yeah, we come every year. It's the least we can do, I think, because we felt that Abby had such a great, service really. So you know, for us, it's nothing really to do. It's really good. Here's my wife.
No, are we going to get an interview with the wife? Hello, we're from Radio Brockley. We're just talking to Abby about the walk. So have you been doing it as a family for a while?
We've been doing it for about 3 years now. 3 years. The first year it rained like this. Abby had just dyed her hair and she was on crutches then, and there was orange all running down her face from the hair dye. That was great. Last year was a good year. It was nice and sunny, and here we go again with the rain. They should call it the raindrop walk.
I think Abby was saying it's a bit like because of Glastonbury. We think we're blaming Glastonbury.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, all of you, and continue your walk. Thank you.
Bye.
I'm with Irene now, who's also on a walk. How are you doing?
Very slow. Very slow.
Is this your first Buttercup Walk?
Yes.
And how did you hear about it?
They wrote to me and sent me all the information. When was it? This year anyway. So, but I've only been had 2 ops in this since last October, so I wasn't around last year.
So you've been a patient at the hospital?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking what you've had done?
Stage 2 knee replacement. Yeah.
And how's your recovery going?
Very well. Very well. The infection's gone and everybody has been absolutely brilliant.
And would you encourage other patients to get involved in this next year when it maybe might be a bit nicer weather?
Yes. Not me though. It's too much like hard work.
Well, we won't stop you now. We'll let you keep going now, all right?
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. I'm with Barbara now, who's also walking next to me. How are you doing with this?
I'm doing very well. Getting slightly wet, but I have a bin bag.
I was going to say, it's like
to be here.
I was going to say, it looks like it's good. It's good thing you are prepared. I'm not.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. Now I came out of Ward 4 on May 7th. I had my spine rebuilt, and at the time I didn't think I'd be able to do the walk today.
How did you hear about the Buttercup Walk?
Oh, I mean, I've been in this hospital many times over the years for different things. But my surgeon, Mr. Lee, well, I know. I mean, I'd almost forgotten about it. Mr. Lee I saw a couple weeks ago, and he was doing it, obviously. And he reminded me, and I said, well, I can walk now, so I'm going to do it. So here we are.
And how are you feeling while doing it? Is it
wonderful? I'm wearing a body brace, which is why I'm wearing a bin bag, so it doesn't get wet, because they disintegrate in the rain.
And is this your first year for the Buttercup Walk?
It is, yes. Yes.
And you have, did you heard of it before, or is this the first?
When I was in the hospital years ago for my knee, I had, but I was never around in June, and it was just all tied in beautifully this year. So of course I'm here, I'm just happy.
And do you know any other else that you know is doing this with you?
I've got a friend who's with her stick. She's doing it, obviously. And no, I just came up to see all the nurses on the ward.
And would you come next year, pending the weather's a little bit better?
Yes, I would. Of course I would. I'd be running next year. Give me a break.
We hope to see you.
Next year I'll be off, no body brace, and I'll run.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right, I'm very pleased to say I've been joined by one of the senior management of the hospital, Matt Shaw. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are you doing?
Very good. It's a great day.
It is. Well, apart from the weather, it's a lovely day. Just remind me what your role is here.
So I'm one of the spinal surgeons here. I'm the medical director and the deputy CEO.
So what do you do in your spare time?
What spare time?
And you brought your family along, which is lovely to see. Do you want to introduce them?
Yeah, so this is Charlotte. Say hi.
Hi.
This is Finn. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Lovely to meet you. They look nice and warm and dry.
We forgot Charlotte's coat, unfortunately, so never a good thing to do, so she's a bit chilly, but no, she's had a great day.
What do you think the best bit about today is, Matt?
I think it's just combining all the staff of the hospital, all the consultants and all the patients coming together and having a fantastic day and celebrating the success of the hospital, and I think it's brilliant just to bring everything together, really.
Yeah, it's great. It also engages the local community a lot, doesn't it? Which is so important, especially with our plans for the future.
I think that's really important, especially as this hospital treats people from all around the country, and therefore we don't have a traditional relationship with the local community. So bringing them on site, getting them to celebrate with us in this great grounds that we've got, it's fantastic.
I have just bumped into some parents who I have known from bingo on the adolescent ward in previous months. And this is Mum, this is Catherine. Hi Catherine.
Hello.
I recognise your face.
Yeah, we recognised you straight away.
Now you were on the adolescent ward, Coxon ward with Miles.
We were, yes.
When was that?
That was in February this year. Miles had an operation to remove a very large osteochondroma, and that was carried out by Miss Eastwood and Miss Yo and Miss Ashby, and they did an absolutely amazing job. The wound has healed really well now. His shoulder looks exactly the same as the other shoulder, so we can't thank the hospital enough.
So he's well and strong.
He's well and strong. He's back to doing all his sports. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing operation, amazing hospital.
That's great news. Wonderful to hear. Shall we speak with the young man himself?
Yes, yes.
This is Miles. Hi Miles, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
How are you feeling today?
Good, thank you.
Have you had fun?
Yes.
Aren't you scared?
No.
There's a tiger next to your side.
Uh,
Introduce me to your sister.
my sister.
Hi sister, this is Molly. Your face looks terrific.
Say hello. Say hello. I'm scared.
Hello. What have you been doing at the Buttercup Walk today?
Doing beat the goalkeeper and getting sweets.
You were the young man with the football, weren't you?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yes.
Did you have some candy floss?
Yes.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
And did you see the Buttercup Walk itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Mars, great to talk with you. Wish you lots of luck. Hope things go well for you.
Thank you.
Shall I have a word with Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Dad. This is Stefan. Hello.
Hiya, how you doing?
I'm okay considering the rain. How are you today?
No, really good, really good. And it's a great turnout here today. It's amazing how many people have turned out, and very touching as well. It's a great place with a really good vibe, and we're very thankful to the hospital. We can't thank you guys enough for all you've done.
Thank you very much. It's a terrific hospital, and of course it's a world centre for this type of work, for skeletal and bone stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely outstanding. I mean, Mars is under the care, obviously, of here and Bolsover. And again, at Bolsover, can't forget those guys there. You know, again, fantastic work.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you very much indeed. And hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Right, I'm very pleased to say I'm with the chairman of the Buttercup Walk charity, one of the physicians here. It's Peter Calder. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Keith. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. A bit of a damp day, but a great day nonetheless.
Yeah, fantastic day. It's so nice to see so many old friends. Norman obviously came here. He's got the oldest hip replacement in. Just brilliant. And I think people appreciated that. You know, you don't always need a superstar from rock and pop music to, you know, get the effect that, you know, opening the walk and things like that. So I was really, really pleased.
He was an amazing guy to talk to, absolutely stimulating guy in what he was saying about Stanmore.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's an epitome of, you know, he started here as a child, had an operation, and this is the best thing about this hospital, is that we look after people from cradle to grave, whereas, you know, there are a lot of other specialist hospitals, when they get to a certain age, you have to go and find somewhere else. So I think that's the beauty of this hospital. Hopefully long may, you know, continue.
Okay, so next year, what's the plans?
Right, well, obviously, we meet all the time and we discuss what works, what doesn't work. We've got a dog show that's taking place at the moment. I'm hoping that the rain will stop so that we can go and, you know, enjoy that. And then we'll just reassess again. You know, I think the basic principle will continue. What I don't want to happen is it to become stale. So it may be that I'll ask one of my colleagues to see if they want to take over the chairmanship. I've been doing it now 6 years, taken over from my colleague before, Mr. Najad. So we've both done it, you know, as much as each other. So maybe it's a new face, could bring in new ideas. You know, my wife and my daughter came and did the sweet stall today, so maybe I'll just step aside and do a stall and let somebody else, you know, have control in the middle.
Okay, and what the money that was raised last year, how much was it roughly, and what did it go towards? Can you tell us?
Right, so we're raising between £20,000 and £40,000 per year, which is not a small amount of money. At the moment, we're in negotiation. From my own practice, where I'm a children's orthopaedic surgeon, we've got a lot of children, babies, being referred with dislocated hips. And we are overwhelming our radiography department because they haven't got enough sessions to have all the scans of the babies. So we're in negotiation at the moment. We're assessing new scanners, and we're going to buy a scanner which could be as much as £30,000 to £40,000. But if we can use the Buttercup Walk money for that, you know, we'll be able to improve our service, make the, you know, the babies have an easier access, and it's obviously a lot of money that will be worthwhile.
Fantastic. It makes it all worthwhile standing in the rain, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Peter. Keep up the good work, and thank you very much for your time.
No, anytime. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
Well, it really was a tremendous success today, and a big thanks to all of our reporters you heard there: Keith Reeve, Emma Joyce, Marge Walker, Sue Weston, Emily Colebrook and Graham Rich, and to everyone else from Radio Brockley who helped make the day go very smoothly and also helped run the stall as well. Don't forget you can listen again to that and also other previous editions of Brockley News by following the links from our website. Go to radiobrockley.org. You can listen again on YouTube, plus you can catch Brockley News Extra 5 days a week at midday for another chance to hear some of our recent interviews. Up next on Radio Brockley, Brockley, it's Bedside Bingo, your chance to win some goodies with David Rauch. And then at 8 tonight, it's all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show with Keith Reeve. Brockley News returns at the same time next week, when we'll be hearing from writer and photographer Melanie Gow about an incredible journey she made with her 2 sons. From me, Alan Joyce, though, good night.